Greetings to my Riverside family. Title of this sermon today is Unity is Holy Work. From the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, 14 through 16. For Christ is our peace, who has made two groups one and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility, by setting aside in his flesh the law with its commands and regulations. His purpose was to create in himself one new humanity out of the two, thus making peace, and in one body to reconcile both of them to God. We are a divided nation, and there are many people of faith who claim God as their hero, and also see God as the enemy of those they abhor. People construct systems and laws and choose leadership that supports the world they desire. There is constantly something being created to reinforce exclusion, as many people feel they are not important until they are exclusive, a part of something that only the special ones can join. Like the lyrics of the song, I'm in with the in crowd, and I go where the in crowd goes. I'm in with the in crowd, and I know what the in crowd knows. It seems that importance and exclusivity go together in this present atmosphere. And there are those who are actively building fresh new walls of racism, gender bias, sexual orientation bias, classism, revisionist history, conscious, intentional misstatements about things in the past, and pushing back against all critical race and gender history. There are new walls of classist nationality, exclusionary political party platforms, and yes, religious bias. My friends, there is no English language in the USA. We simply call it the English language. When I go to England, words like the loo, which is the toilet, the telly, which is the television, a nappy, which is a diaper, a water closet, which is a bathroom, are completely foreign to my vocabulary. But because our nation is young, ours is a melding hodgepodge of pre-existing native languages mixed with the various languages that came here, both with conquerors, usurpers, slaves, immigrants, and then there are the words we together as a nation have created. Essentially, there were languages here before most of us and our ancestors arrived. And words are being added or changing their meaning constantly. In the same way, our forms of religion, and particularly Christianity, are meldings or a melding of Judaism, seasoned by the Greeks' worship of their pantheon of gods, along with worship ways handed down and influenced by those who taught us. We know this to be true, but it begs the question, why do we continue to diminish and at times assign people literally to hellfire who don't believe the same as we do? Where does this come from? Why do we continue this behavior? To disagree is one thing, but to diminish, to damn people to eternal punishment, those who believe differently, is the tendency and often the history of religion in this nation and in the world. People would kill others for worshiping on the wrong day, or calling God or the gods by unacceptable names. The Apostle Paul was removed from the Jewish temple by Roman guards who had to rescue him from his own people because he brought an Ethiopian into the temple. This Ethiopian was considered unclean. We may say that was then, but although it is not as violent at times, our nation is in a similar turmoil. And at the root is the effort to create and make laws to sustain a national religion, where it will be illegal to practice what is opposed by a super conservative Christianity in most cases. No hijab for the Muslim women, no choice regarding terminating pregnancy, no support of equal rights for the LGBTQI community, no legislation for the care of the earth. Some say, why should we worry? God is going to blow it up anyway. It is their eschatological view that hinders their eco-justice. No teaching about the religious supported evils of slavery and segregation. Some may feel that it won't affect you directly, but there are consequences for all who do not understand why the founders of this nation argued for a separation of church and state. You see, my friend, there must be room for all. This passage from Ephesians was seeking to declare a wonderful miracle, the coming together of slave and free men, the usurper and the citizen, the Jew, the Roman, the Greek, in Christ, in the spirit of harmony, having all things in common. We will not. We cannot perceive ourselves equal until we see each other through divine vision. When will come the time when we seek to find the common good in our faith paths, to find the common good in our races, to find the common good in our communities, to find the common good in our families, and not have pejorative assumptions of the other? When do we prioritize looking for those tenets of faith that bind us together in love? Not by what you don't believe, but what will bind us together because of what we do believe. Hear me, beloved. We cannot legislate love. We can vote for it. We can run on a love platform, but we cannot legislate love until love grasps our hearts, our minds, and our intention. And we cannot legislate love until we understand that God is love. 1 John 4:7-8, beloved, let us love one another. For love is of God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. They who love not know not God, for God is love. Good religion then must invest time, energy, and effort in more than what we can't do together. It must model what we are empowered to do together by the divine of our understanding. Imagine this, family, all over the world, if our temples, our churches, our mosques would cease to be secret societies, but transparent places, spaces of welcome, inclusivity, and community, extravagant welcome, relentless hospitality. I vision a world like the one that the Apostle Paul wrote about, where faith paths merge, not like a puree, but like a stew, where the individual ingredients remain distinct, but we are all in the pot together. then our skills, our money, our education, our assets could be focused on creating a better world, as versus destroying the only one we have. Imagine our being more inclusive and less exclusive. Our ancestors, with the exception of the natives of this land, were also once strangers here. Food, shelter, education, safety then should be a right for all of us. It takes a greater commitment to care and to provide actually for born children, and a small portion of the funds raised for the unborn could make a huge difference in the lives of the born. There is love, there is peace, there is justice, there is inclusion in all of our holy writ. If we would focus more on the message of Jesus through the Apostle Paul, let them all be one. Let them all be one. Not to destroy their individualism, but let them all be one in peace. Let them all be one in love. Let them all be one in familial relationships with the divine who covers us all. This is the heart of the divine. Let's begin there. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Those that love not know not God, for God is love, and the greatest of every commandment is love. God bless you is my prayer.